Good morning.
Good morning. Today's survey day.
We have to get up at dark 30 to do it.
Yeah, well, it's still better than... I'm glad we stayed near the boat, because otherwise we would already have been on the road for an hour.
Yeah. And whose great idea was that?
That's your idea, honey.
Last time on Proteus Rising, we make the journey to Anacortes, Washington to get one chapter closer to owning our very own blue water cruising sailboat. We get to know the systems a little better, eat some great seafood, and make our first trip to West Marine. Then cap the day off with a sunset visit to Washington Park. In this chapter, the nitty-gritty of the survey and sea trial takes place, the results of which will let us know whether we picked the right vessel for our waterborne adventures.
So it's survey day, and I just have to say, officially for the record, I am really nervous. I don't know why I didn't have these nerves yesterday, but today it feels way more real.
Luckily for a January survey in the Puget Sound, we were greeted with sun and mild temperatures, and didn't even need the follies we had just bought the other day. We arrived at the marina to see a beautiful sunrise.
So what do you think? Survey day. We're on the boat. It's a beautiful day.
It's gorgeous.
We got the professionals here to help us out.
Our mechanical surveyor and general surveyor arrived at sunup as well and got right to work. If you've never been a part of a boat survey, much like a survey on a house, it checks all the systems and its structural integrity. The knocking you see here is testing whether or not the vessel has delamination, which means that water is someplace on the boat or in the boat that it shouldn't be. Greg did a little bit of this when we first looked at the Bayfield 36. She's pretty solid on deck, but the professional will tell us exactly what he found in his report later on. A good marine survey takes a long time, but we were ready to spend all day to figure out if this Bayfield 36 was the one for us.
We chose to have both a mechanical and general survey. It's a little more expensive that way, but neither of us knows anything about diesel engines, and we really wanted a pro to help us learn all we could about the 30-year-old Yanmar 4J HTE. We felt that spending a few extra dollars now could help us avoid a costly mistake later. If you only have a general survey, understand they're not a mechanic. Most will verify that the engine runs and moves the boat, but usually that's about it. Our mechanical survey was done by Rhodes of Blue Sky Marine Services, and our general surveyor was Steve Berg of Berg Marine Surveys. In addition to the tapping, Steve also used a moisture meter to measure whether water has been trapped below the fiberglass skin of the boat, causing hidden damage. After what felt like hours of dockside checks, it was finally time to take her out. The broker started the engine, and Rob and Steve could really get to work. Rob's inspection included testing oil pressure, temperature under load, and even the pH of the coolant and collecting oil samples to be sent out for analysis. These tests can reveal a lot about the engine's condition.
Greg wasted no time getting behind the helm during the sea trial portion of the day.
How's it feel?
It steers great.
Yeah.
It feels really responsive. Even when the wakes came by and bobbed us around, I didn't feel like I was getting thrown all over.
No,
Stable.
she handled that commercial fishing vessel wake pretty well.
While Rob was elbow deep in the engine compartment, Steve was working his way from the bow to the stern, checking the condition and operation of the furlers, winches, standing and running rigging, the sails, and basically everything else on the boat. Some people choose to have a rigging survey as well. Just like the mechanic, the rigger can use their specialized knowledge to provide valuable insight into the condition of the sails and lines. If we had it to do over again, we would probably hire a rigging surveyor too.
It felt like we had just gotten out into Fidalgo Bay when we had to turn around and go back to the marina because the surveyors needed to look at the sailboat out of the water and examine everything below the waterline. So I had to take a break. I wanted to take that break with Greg, but he's like a kid in a candy store right now. He's so excited. But he's so sick, too. He's feeling really, really poorly. But he's living off of adrenaline right now and super excited. They're hauling the boat out. There's a couple of things. We're going to have to look at it much more in depth, and we will. Both the mechanical and the general surveyor will give us a report, and we'll take that report and do some critical thinking about if this is what we signed up for with our offer, or if there's something that we feel like warrants taking money off of our offer because we can't move forward knowing that X is not where it should be. So, or C, walk away entirely, or just accept it. So yeah, so accept it with conditions, not accept it as is. That's what the next decision is. And all that information from the surveyors today is going to go into that. But I'm don't need to watch another boat go in and out of the water. I've seen it happen a million times, even though this is potentially our boat. These guys in particular have handled this boat several times now, so I wasn't worried about whether or not they were going to do a good job. I felt comfortable in their competence because it says it's 51 degrees, but the wind chill makes it more like 31. Okay, 41. No, it's colder than that. It feels colder than that. There's so much moisture in the air, but the temperature and the sun is out. It's mostly sunny. We had a couple of moments of cloud cover when we were out motoring in the bay, but that's where we're at. I'm taking a break. I'm sitting in the truck. I still got my sea legs on. I'm thrilled with how quickly that happens. Greg and I, neither one of us had any kind of seasickness, although it was the shortest sailing trip ever. Exciting times. I'm happy for the break to sit in the truck and drink some water and snack a little and not be watching Greg push himself because he's so excited. We'll get her on the hard and they'll start doing the rest of the survey, the off the water survey, whatever they call it, on the hard. At this point, Greg finally realized he just had to get in the truck and let me drive him home. The combination of an adrenaline hangover and fighting a bug that had been ripping through his 9 to 5 was the only thing taking him away from the boat that day. But the puppies and Tank were anxious for us to get home, and so that's what we did. The surveyors will have the reports to us in just a few days, and then the real work begins. So stay tuned for our next episode to find out what we decide. In the meantime, we'd love for you to join our adventure by liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you can't wait for the next episode, you can always follow Proteus Rising on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until then, slancha! We're driving down I-5 South, and stopped along the side of the road is those racy hatchbacks. 3 guys, skinny jeans, nice Oxford shoes, sweaters, hair's all coiffed, and they got their tablet out. And they're looking up how to fix a flat tire because they got